Hey guys, it's Reagan, and today I'm standing in front of my bookshelves, or one bookshelf, and because I'm going to be filming the On My Shelf tag, but before I get started with that, I wanted to quickly address all the discussion, all the great discussion that has been going around the booktube community. Basically, if you didn't know, there's been a lot of discussion from all corners of this community discussing some topics. I'm not going to go into the actual discussion part because that's not words. Basically, what I wanted to tell you guys is what I have taken from all this discussion, what new perspectives I've gained, and what changes I want to implement from what I've learned from the discussion into my channel itself. Because that's why I think discussion, before I even tell you, that's why I think discussion is so important, because a lot of times you can be doing stuff and you don't even think about it from like another thing, another perspective, until you hear someone else tell you and you're like, oh wait, that's a good point. Maybe I should reevaluate some stuff. And for me, that's what all of this has done. So, that being said, just not to leave you in suspense any longer, what am I gonna do? Well, there's a lot of small things, but the big thing is I've decided to remove my Amazon wishlist from my channel description. Yeah. Basically, just to kind of, that Amazon wishlist was never created with any sort of intent or expectation. However, I can see how that can be perceived that way, and I also understand how it's a self-perpetuating thing, and I just see the argument, and after hearing the argument, I reflected and I'm like, yeah, it's something I should do away with on my channel. Obviously, I'm not condemning anyone who has one or doesn't have one or doesn't believe it, blah. I'm just saying, for me personally, I took this time to think and I realized, yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that because I realized it wasn't a good idea for me any longer. And additionally, I didn't want anyone to, like viewers or I didn't want to feel like they had to get me anything to achieve or get my affection, because you don't. I love everyone forever, five-ever. You don't have, that's not something that needs to be done to get my affection. Like seriously, you guys are the greatest. Please don't think that. And I also want to say I'm not belittling or talking down to anyone's decision who did decide to send me anything or send me something from my Amazon wishlist in the past, because regardless, I'm still extremely grateful for that and I still really appreciate it. I keep all the notes. I don't want you to think that I'm mad at you for making that decision or looking down on you for making that decision, because I'm not. I'm just deciding to do something different now in the future. Basically. That's what I wanted to say. In short, I realized that wasn't a very long discussion, but I just kind of wanted to give you some perspective on what I decided to do. I think there's a lot of good discussion going around. Like for example, I'll link some just basic discussion videos down below, like Marlon's is really good. Also just discussion of other people deciding to take down their wish lists as well, like Ariel Bissett wrote a really good post on it, and so I'll link all of that stuff down below if you want to see and continue the discussion elsewhere. But now, let's move on to the point, well not the point, the title of this video, which is the On My Shelf tag. And I was tagged by Marlon like 50 trillion years ago, but I didn't have my bookshelf at the time because I was in college, but I'm home, so I can do it. Basically, what you do is you separate your shelves, like for example, I have 15 shelves, and then, I don't know, I'm gonna guess I have like 20 books across, and then you pick two numbers, and then you find the book that matches those two coordinates on your bookshelf. So, the first bookshelf I'm gonna go with is 7-5. The book that is 7-5 on my bookshelf is Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. This is book 2 of the Lunar Chronicle series. I've already read it. I really enjoyed this one, and I bought it off Book Outlet, so that's a thing. It's also not here because I'm lending it to my friend, which shows how much I've enjoyed this series, so that's kind of funny. Hopefully this whole video isn't empty dust jackets, because that could be a thing, because I do lend out a lot of books. Alright, let's move on to the next coordinate. Let's do 1-10, and 1's right here, so that's real easy for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rebel Springs by Morgan Rhodes. This is book 2 of a really good high fantasy young adult series that was really freaking good, and I really want the 3rd book. If you're not aware, this series is, I think, a really good starting place for someone who's really interested in something like Game of Thrones with the multiple perspectives, but is scared of Game of Thrones and wants to try something a little more young adulty. The Fallen Kingdom series, this is the first one, would be a really good place to start. Well, I mean, obviously it's not to the same scale of Game of Thrones in terms of epicness. This is still pretty good in my opinion, and I would recommend it. I really liked this book, especially this book. It's really, it's good. The next set of coordinates is for the 17. 17 on my bookshelves is Shades of Earth by Beth Revis. This is book 3 of the Across the Universe series that I bought over a year ago and still haven't read the first one, so good job, Reagan. I bought the whole series for a reason, because I wanted to read it. I just haven't yet. And I actually started the first one and it was really good, so maybe this is a sign that I should revisit this series. And this is another book I bought off Book Outlet. That's a thing that I do a lot, okay? The next coordinate is gonna be 11-7. Has a rhyme, sort of. 11-7 on my bookshelf is Everybody Sees the Ants by A.S. King. I bought this off Bargain Books off Amazon for $4. All I know is I have yet to still read an A.S. King book. I know Ariel loves them. I've heard her loves her, and I know that I'm gonna love this, and it's gonna be really good. So I just need to freaking read it, and I'm kind of glad I pulled this because it just reminded me that I really need to read an A.S. King book. So that's gonna happen soon. I really think. Plus this is really short. It won't take me very long. So yes. Alrighty, time for the last coordinate, and that's gonna be, out of breath. Let's do 320. Hopefully there's 20 books on that bookshelf. So 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 320 on my bookshelf is Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. I actually just recently bought this at Goodwill. But this was actually my favorite book in the Hunger Games trilogy, and probably the book that really got me into dystopian at that stage of my life. So this was actually a pretty influential book on my bookshelf, and in fact I haven't reread the Hunger Games since they've all been released, which means it's been a really long freaking time, so I really should probably reread this series. Yeah, especially because Mockingjay is coming out. I should really have that fresh on my brain cells. So yeah. Alrighty guys, that is the on your shelf tag. I think this video is really cool because it kind of makes you pull random books and reflect upon maybe why you haven't read them, why you liked them, where you got them, etc. And I challenge everyone to do this. Specifically, actually I have no idea who to specifically tag, so I really don't know who's done it. Darn it. But really, if you want to do this, leave me a thing down below, and I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye!